Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course, I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, overall, we are seeing a pullback throughout the entire market. Bitcoin did break down to about 40.5K. I told you guys yesterday in my market update video that Bitcoin's overall close yesterday was crucial. 43 to 44K was what I was watching. If we didn't get that, then I was going to flip a little bit bearish on the micro view. And would you look at what happened? So we closed at around like 42K on Bitcoin, and now today we are seeing that sell off. Now, obviously, I'm going to do a market-wide update later on, but when we look at Hedera, for an example, Hbar is down 7%, almost 15% on the 7-day span. Some of my investments are still down. Like, for an example, like I told you guys that I was buying Casper. Casper is down a little bit today. I think it's actually down below my buy points as well. Yeah, it's sitting at about like almost 7.5 cents. So, a lot of these assets, to me, is just a long-term hold no matter what happens. I will kind of cut my losses if we do see something fairly bearish on the charts. Of course, I will tell you guys that ahead of time. But when we look at something like Bitcoin and we look at this market right now, I'm not too concerned. I think that Bitcoin will most likely come down and test a little bit lower. What I'm looking at is, shorts to be closed out. So ultimately, where do I see us retesting? It's somewhere within this like 39 to like 40K, area. I don't think that we go lower, than the highs from here, which was like 37.9K. That's a higher low put in place on the chart. So if we do break that level, that's going to be something to watch for closely. But ultimately, I do see Bitcoin holding those levels. But enough talking about Bitcoin. Let's talk about Hbar. So obviously, we were kind of just trading sideways. Volume is actually up pretty good right now, 121.77%. But this came down to test almost, I would say like 19.5 cents almost, but this was like around the 20-cent support zone. I'm hoping for a strong little bounce here soon, but if we don't, we will test those major lows. I will open the chart later and really kind of talk about it in this video, but ultimately, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about the macro view here, and let's address this. So first off, with the Metaverse stuff, we have been seeing more and more of a breakdown within the Metaverse, focus area for Hedera. And we actually see where the Hbar Foundation is confident that it will be able to help newcomers in the area to tackle the hardships of launching these Metaverse products with a wealth of experience and financial backing. Now, I don't know. I seen yesterday, it was somebody, they quoted this, and they were talking about this, and they were saying, now they are trying to be the next big thing in the Metaverse. I don't know where it was, but I think it might have been Hbar. He was actually quoting this article. But essentially, when we look at something like this, and we look at the Metaverse and where it's really kind of positioned, I do see the Metaverse welcoming tokenized and digitized real estate. I think that that's going to be something pretty interesting. But when we talk about everything that has been happening in this market, these areas are something to really kind of watch for, because I do believe that when we look at, technology, within crypto, kind of, I would say going mainstream, I think DLTs are going to be the focus area. This is what I try to say with, QNT as well, like being that interoperability bridge between all these DLTs. Like, it's going to be the crucial area to focus on. And we do see our DLT is the core component of such infrastructure, and it is Hedera network that is best architected to meet the DLT demands of enterprise platforms and their complex economies. And we do see our wealth of experience and financial backing accelerating the development of applications in high growth target areas. And when we talk about this, I know that this is, old news now. We talked about this, but I want to kind of put a little bit of a different spotlight on this. So yesterday, I was doing a little bit of a deep dive in the Metaverse, and I really kind of wanted to look at Mana. So Mana was one of my earlier trades in 2021. I was telling you guys about it here and there. Of course, at that time, I was not making videos. We can kind of go back to this time frame. So It was like around the January timeframe. We were getting in this at around like 10 cents, around this area here. It already started to spike, right? It went from like, 7 cents to around like 12 cents. Would have been great to be in during this time, but, this was still sort of a long-term hold. I mean, ultimately speaking, when we look at the chart for this, individuals were probably holding this for a whole year. I mean, look at this. It was like 2, 3, 4, 5, some cents. And it took over a whole year for this to start that breakout event. Now, of course, this was because the metaverse was getting focused on, and it really started to, break out. It hit about almost $2, traded sideways yet again, and then it finally broke to the upside. The reason why I bring this up is that I really want you guys to understand the long-term longevity of this market and the success rate of actually being in this market for a while. Putting your money into something that you know is a winner, you just have to wait for it to be realized. Nobody really thought that, Mana was going to go as high as $5. I remember my specific targets on this were actually the $2.50 range to $5, and we hit that perfectly. The reason why I bring this up and the reason why I talk about it is the fact that, we know where Hedera is positioned, right? We know that with what Hedera has been achieving lately, they have been building out a massive network that's ready to take over. We look at the GC members, right? Some of these GC members are, some that you probably know, some that you probably don't know. I would say the few that I really want to spotlight is like ServiceNow, FPOS. We look at EDF. EDF is a huge name, especially in the utilities sector. We look at other ones as well, right? I also want to put a spotlight on Chainlink Labs because we actually seen a new connection being formed from Chainlink Labs. They were talking about dynamic, NFTs, DNFTs. Now, just to kind of give you a breakdown on the difference here. So here we have DNFTs make NFTs more versatile. With DNFTs, metadata changes can be based on any off-chain or on-chain event. This unlocks a wide range of possibilities, including a property DNFT that tracks maintenance history, a sports DNFT with automatically updating player stats, and more. I think that this is going to be a huge, update within the NFT sector. Now, of course, where's the connection to, Hedera here? Well, shout out to Zepsi for this, but we do see here, Chainlink is governing council member of Hedera. Dovu Official is a carbon marketplace built on Hedera that enables fully auditable carbon credits from farmer to retirement. They already leverage DNFTs. And here you guys have a breakdown on how this actually works. They're basically talking about it.
Our use case is effectively what makes up this concept of a CDO. And this actual structure is created on Hedera using the combination of a token service and the consensus service. Due to the ridiculously low fees that Hedera provides, it basically eliminates gas fees. The act of just holding one of these CDOs means there's no gas fees for any individual or any user going forward. And it can store the actual data it can store and can be linked to is an infinite amount. It's worth noting that our current structure of dynamic NFTs is always changing, and that we are doing a lot of work around audit trails and bolstering them up to be as verifiable and auditable as possible.
And this is really going to open the doors for a lot of, I would say, opportunities within the NFT sector. The reason why I bring this up and the reason why I talk about it as well is because NFTs, Metaverse, all of this stuff is what provides massive demand around some of these networks. The NFT sector, right? Again, Decentraland, massive moves, right? You look at other NFT projects like Axie Infinity doing 20,000% gains. Like, it's a time base in this market. Okay, Hedera's focused on enterprise. They're focused on major use cases. We look at this, and they are talking about Web3. They're talking about, just overall DLTs, being adopted at a massive rate within a lot of these areas. Web3 is very early. Okay, NFTs, very early. Metaverse, very early. Crypto, very early. I stress this because it's not the idea on, hey, let me make a ton of money real quick in this market and get out. No. I honestly would say stay in crypto. No matter how rich you get off of selling crypto, stay in this market. This market is extremely early. We are so early within asset tokenization. We're so early within, NFTs, Metaverse. Like NFTs, I see them being so much bigger than what we see right now. I see them being utilized for real estate. And we see, I would say Chainlink is confirming this with, the housing market, aka that $300 trillion, overall market. When we look at things like this should confirm where we are positioned in this market right now. And when we talk about enterprise is going to eat up asset tokenization like it's nothing. They're going to love it, especially on something like Hedera, right? Because Hedera does not need to upgrade their system. We look at Ethereum, right? Here's Ethereum. When the dust settles at the year end, Ethereum will be trading at north of $10,000, this co-founder and former CEO of BitMEX says, right? The thing is that they are trying to see if Ethereum 2.0 is going to happen at the end of June or not. Like, imagine waiting for a network to upgrade because of how inefficient it is. And again, I show you the chart of Ethereum, okay? Here is that all-time chart. This launches back in 2015. $70, by the way, $70 has this massive bull run to, 300 some dollars, followed by some sideways momentum, and then it hits $1,400. And here we are. I mean, this came down as low as like 90 some dollars, even had a deeper dip down to or I thought that was a deeper dip, but it was actually a little bit around the same range at around like $100. And then it runs to $5,000 almost. Again, we know that this is an inefficient network compared to Hedera, but that's not what I want to focus on. What I want to focus on is the idea on look at the chart for this. Okay, we are still very early within this market, but look at the chart for Ethereum. It's a long-term play, 2015 all the way to 2017, 2 years. I've been holding Hedera for over a whole year now. Okay? It's been about, I don't even know how long. It's been over a year. And I am not too concerned at all on the price action. All right? Because I know that where we are currently, let's go to Amazon stock. Where we are currently on, Hedera is like around this range. This sideways momentum. Now, I don't think that's going to take years and years and years to get to those highs, but I'm just saying, look at Amazon stock, right? You had this massive boom during the 90s. This is the dot-com boom, right? This hit like $112 per stock from, by the way, like 76 cents. Followed by that massive sell-off. And this came all the way down to roughly $5. Then it had a nice little rally again to 60 some dollars, followed by another massive sell-off, another, major rally sell-off during the '08 crisis, by the way, came down to $34. But look at the overall chart for this. I mean, there was massive sell-offs here and there, but the ultimate goal here and the ultimate path that, Amazon took was that nice upward trend. Now, again, I mind you that when we look at things happening within this market, when we look at things happening within Hedera, we are still so early. Okay? We're still on that, macro uptrend. We have these sell-offs here and there. Right now we're testing some, lows going back to June or July, sorry. And it's the idea that we know what Hedera's been building. I still see massive FUD being spewed. I still see a lot of people being frustrated with price. And I get that. Trust me, I'm frustrated with the price too. I want to make money. That's what we're here for. But you have to look at where this market is headed. I mean, think about it logically, right? Crypto has a market cap of almost $9 trillion. To see this market go to $19 trillion, for an example, it's going to take a little bit of time. Mind you, $19 trillion is the same market cap as the market that Zinfin is disrupting and Zinfin's not even at, a $2 billion market cap. So think about how early we are on some other assets. Hedera's taken over in many areas. They're going after DeFi. They're going after NFTs. They're going after the Metaverse. All of these markets are so early because at the end of the day, crypto itself is early. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, if you guys do want more content, you guys can go check out my website, NCashOfficial.com. But with that being said, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.